Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, tarnished of all ages, and everybody out there in YouTube land, this is Drake coming at you in another video. And look, we're talking about farming. Now, the video is going to be mainly centered around Mohg Farming. Mohg Farming 101. How to do it, the different options that you have, and just the math behind it. All right, I'm not even going to say what's really necessarily best or not, because as we will see, some of these methods are really, really close to each other in numbers anyway. All right, so let's take a look at farming. All right, let's talk about farming for a second. Now, let me do this real quick. For those of you that don't want to watch the video and you're just interested in the numbers, hey, that's cool, man. Don't watch the video. Let me put this up for you. Go ahead and pause the video. Zoom in where you have to if it's not big enough. Sorry about that. I'm trying to get everything on the screen so I don't have to like scroll up and down. All right, so pause it and zoom in. The numbers are here on my testing and my runs that I did. And you can pause it and you can read this and you can see that everything is pretty close. Oh, typo. You can see that everything is pretty close. All right, so pause it, take a look. All right, you don't have to watch the whole video if you want to. All right, that's cool. But I wanted to talk about farming for a second, okay? Now, farming, what does farming mean? Farming refers to a gaming tactic where a player or someone hired by a player performs repetitive actions to gain experience, points, or some form of in-game currency. Farming usually involves staying in a game area with a spawn point that generates endless numbers of items or enemies. The player collects the items or continuously kills the enemies for the experience, points, and the currency. Or in Soulsborne game cases, that's all three. Farming is also known as gold farming. I'm sure that's back from like the WoW days, point farming, or XP farming. Look, guys, this has been around. This is from 2017. This has been around for a long time. A long time. Look at this. If we look at the Dark Souls, this is from IGN, Dark Souls. Farming is a repetitious method of acquiring items or currency through various ways of different purposes. In the case of Dark Souls, farming involves gathering souls and useful items to level up, build stats, increase the quantity of consumable items, gather upgrade materials, etc. Now, back in the day, this is what farming meant to me initially. Basically, like the farming of consumable items or upgradable items, items that would allow you to craft and things like that. We used to you farm that stuff, you know. Take a look at shout out to F Extra Life for the Dark Souls Remastered wiki, Soul Farming Dark Souls wiki. This is from November 2021. This is from 2012 on the IGN Dark Souls little wiki that they have. But soul farming, all soul farming methods can be improved by equipping either the covetous silver serpent ring or the symbol of avarice, which will increase the number of souls earned for killing enemies by 20% each. If both are equipped, the effect stacks, increasing soul rewards by 44%. There's also the possibility to get the overkill bonus, worth an additional 20%, which will stack with the ring and headpiece for a total of 72.8% soul bonus. Overkill bonus is rewarded when causing over 150% damage to any enemy during one hit, which often happens when using power within together with a powerful attack. See also farming, Titanite farming, humanity farming. Look at this, Anne Orlando. Soul rates, 4,500 souls every 2 minutes. Interesting. 2 minutes is what I basically base my testing on, about a 2-minute run for everything. And soul rates, Anne Orlando, bonfire, 9,000 every 2 minutes. Look at this, but method untested. It may take more than 2 soul spear or crystal soul spear. Guys, farming has been around for a long time. I remember personally, I used to do this one. I did this one back in Dark Souls. I don't know if any of you guys remember this. This is 10 years ago. Dark Souls Infinite Soul Glitch, the Dragon Head glitch. I remember me and my brother, we tied like we wrapped like a rubber band around the controller in order to be able to do this. And that's embarrassing. Get out of here. Freaking ads. Look at this. Check this out. I used to do this one. I'm not even gonna lie. I used to do this one. You'd have to get the dragon head stone. You'd have to have the dragon head piece. And basically there was a glitch in the game that when you did this, that you would just keep getting souls and 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 souls. I don't remember how we did it. It wasn't in this spot. It was in a different bonfire. But anyway, I digress. Farming has been around. I don't know why everybody's getting mad at it. I don't know why everybody's getting, you know, pissed off overly at it and upset about it and all, you know, tightwadded about it. It's a thing. It's been a thing for a long time, okay? The only thing that I'm going to offer with this video is basically what our different options are in this From Software game, all right? And with an extra tinge of my commentary, okay? So listen, it's been around. We're not debating that, okay? Farming has been around. Now, let me also start off by saying that the farming methods, there's no doubt about it. If you're new game plus and higher, well, the Sacred Relic Sword is an amazing Elden Ring weapon, but its real strength is a tool to work the fields of the game's best rune farm. The Elden Beast is the true final boss of Elden Ring, and the reward is definitely fitting for an Elden Lord. That is from, let's see, win.gg news. So let's go back to, let's see, Sacred Relic Sword. All right, shout out again to the wiki, Affects Your Life. Sacred Relic Sword. All right, let's look at the stats. You need, right, requires 14 strength, 24 dex, not bad, 22 faith, not bad to wield it properly. Now, see, the thing is, what all these videos, what everybody's not telling you is that, look at this, Dark Souls 2 farming methods, Dark Souls farming methods, Dark Souls 2 farming methods, look, Dark Souls 3 farming methods. Elden Ring farming methods is not new. I don't know if a lot of people out there on YouTube and the internet or people playing Elden Ring, you guys were just, I don't know if you guys weren't even born yet. I don't know if you guys were too young. All right. But it's been around. So obviously the most effective way is the Albinaric Valley, right? And look, what a lot of videos don't tell you, they show you using the Sacred Sword and using the Ash of War, the skill on it, which is the gold wave. And they just run up to the beginning, to the you know, at the top of the hill from the Grace. They use the skill, they clear the ads, and then they run back. It's really quick. And see, the thing is, you have to be strong enough to wipe everything out, right? These are base stats to wield the sword properly, not to maximize the damage output that you would need to gain the 2 to 3 million runes that people say that they're getting in 10 minutes. What they're not showing you is probably need to have at least like 60 faith. You want some, probably, I don't know if you're scaling strength or dex. This is mainly going to go probably off faith. And since basically the skill on it is faith based, you're going to want to scale the faith. Not everybody's a faith build. Okay. Not everybody's a faith build. And it requires, the most effective use of this is to be new game plus or higher, in my personal opinion. So we're not really going to look at this. Now, I will show you guys what I did with the Star Scourge sword, because that's another method. And you'll see it's pretty neck and neck. Now, I'm first playthrough, mind you, okay? First playthrough. I'm still working through the game. I've just been exploring, having fun with the game. It's been out for a while, and I haven't even beat it yet, okay? It's because I'm having fun with it. All right, I'm like 300 plus hours in, and I'm just having fun with it. I'm at Mountaintops of the Giants, okay? So, let's take a look, all right? Let's take a look. Let me show you guys. All right, this is going to be the first run right here, okay? Let's check this out for a second. Now, what we're doing here is I literally went to go respec for you guys just so I could use this freaking sword, okay? Now, check this out, all right? Pretty cool. All right, we're doing a 2-minute run here. 2 minutes and some change on all these runs. About 2 minutes and some change on all these runs, okay? Because the cliff, which is right behind the Grace over there, that I got a couple videos on, took about 2 minutes. So that's where we kind of base everything. And you even see Fextra Life's wiki on Dark Souls Remastered farming is based on 2-minute run. So I don't know why that's a thing, but I did the 2-minute run because of the cliff glitch. Okay, the original one, the one that's behind the Grace back here, which we'll talk about later in the video also. So here you can see me running down. This method involves running down, using the skill, and then just clearing the ads. Now, what was interesting was, see that guy? You big-eyed, bug-eyed guy. Some don't die. Some don't die. So I could have gotten maybe more runes. I don't know if I needed to be stronger. The weapon does scale with faith. I mean, with intelligence, but it's a pretty crap scale. And then, of course, requires 38 strength for this one. Now, I had to respec for this because I didn't have 38 strength. I had 30 dex and 80 intelligence. So that's what I'm at. 80 intelligence, okay? That's where I'm at. So, for this, let's see, I had 38 strength, 30 dex, 80 intelligence. Star Scorched sword, alright, so this sword's at a +7. Now, I did say something incorrectly in the previous video that you needed to get New Game Plus to get a second sword. You don't. You actually, I guess because Radon dual wields it, it's like it's like any fist weapons and stuff like that. Like, if you just two-hand it, you basically get 2 of them. Alright, and then I used the skill just like Radon uses, the one Radon uses, right? And you can see me just clearing ads. So here we are, and we're at 118,199 runes in just over 2 minutes. All right, not bad, right? Okay. There we go. There you have it. Just a little over 2 minutes. Hey, what's up, Imp Head? What's up, my guy? Kitty Cat Head? Meow. 118,000. Okay. In 2 minutes. All right. That is with the Star Scorched swords. Now, obviously, again, we're not taking into account the Relic sword. We're not talking about that right now. This is for people who are earlier game, who haven't beat the game, still on first playthrough. Maybe they started a new character, still not even on New Game Plus. All right, that Relic sword strat is really, honestly, in my opinion, for New Game Plus and higher. You already have the Relic sword. You have to upgrade it. Now, again, my Star Scorched sword is only +7. I didn't have enough somber smithing stones to get it a little to at least +9, which still, it's just +7 is pretty good. And I have 80 intelligence. It scales like crap with the intelligence though. Okay, you need intelligence. It's an intelligence scaling weapon, but it scales like crap. Okay, so that's something that you got to keep in mind. So let's talk about that. It's 118,000 for the 2-minute run. Okay, now let's look at what I did here. All right, what I did here was basically I just cleared the ads. In my case, I used my Darkmoon Greatsword, which is a +10. All right. And I used the Duelist Moonblade. All right. Now on this build right here, this is my main build that I have. So I respec back to what I had as 20 strength, 30 dex, 80 intelligence, Dark Moon +10, Lusat staff +9, and I was using a Duelist. All right, so I did the run on the valley, just killing everything that I could as fast as I possibly could. I tried to waste no time here. Now the thing when you do it this way is that right there. Now you have to deal with this sometimes. Now on a couple of these runs, I got one-shotted, okay, by that. All right, and it was crazy. So you have to keep that in mind that when you do it this way, even though this may still, you do it possibly fast. And what I found was that on a 2-minute run here, I found that I got about, let's see, and all of these runs are gold scarab only. I didn't do foul foot because not everybody's gonna have gold foul foots to spare, and you'd have to go farm them, which puts playing time higher to be able to farm most efficiently, which you can do, but as you can see here, it took me a little over. Now, I ran back to the Grace because if you fast travel, you lose the foul foot boost. So just I mimicked that I had it. So here we are, 1 minute and 24 seconds. All right. 41,684. All right. Times that by 2 for a roughly, that would almost be a 3-minute run. But you're going to end up with 83,368 runes with the Scarab only. Okay, Scarab only. Now, when I did it with the gold foot, I did end up with about 54,196 runes times 2, 108,392. Not that far off from my 2-minute run with the Star Scorched sword. Okay, not that far off, which was very interesting to me. So check this out. So here, see, with the Radon sword, with these stats, 2 minutes, 8 seconds, 118,199. Without Radon sword or the Relic sword, obviously, with Gold Scarab only, times my run by 2, clearing the ads manually, basically, like just running and killing everything as fast as I could, possibly with my build, 83,368. Now, this is going to vary because your build's going to vary. So depending on how fast you can kill these guys, and then in my experience with the Scarab and the Foul Foot, 108,392. Now again, that's going to vary depending on your build, your damage output, how fast you can clear those ads by running and killing them. So you run this at night for higher chance to spawn glowy-eyed enemies. This will give you a chance to maximize rune output because they'll give you more runes. All right, and using Relic Sword, Sword of Night and Flame, Cannon of Heim, I've seen all these AoE attacks do increase the number of runes per minute because you'll get more. But again, heavily relies on your damage output, your scaling, your stats, and New Game Plus and higher, because you're gonna get more runes from these guys here. Now, more runes per minute requires the correct weapon. Let's not forget that if you're using a weapon, we have to take into account the level of the weapon, all right, and the correct stats, and sometimes New Game Plus are higher, like I said. And the Relic Sword requires end game content, all right? You have to beat the final boss. Now, and then the randomly glowy-eyed enemies at night can increase the rune output. So look, we're not debating here necessarily if the Relic Sword is the best way. I think honestly it is the best way. If you've got the right stats, if you level it up correctly, and your New Game Plus are higher, then yeah, there's no reason why you shouldn't just use the Relic Sword method. But not everybody's gonna have that, guys. Everybody in the comments always flips out, the Relic Sword's faster. Yeah. Nerds, of course it is. Of course it is. When you have the right stats, when you level up the weapon, and your New Game Plus are higher, of course it is. That's a no-brainer. We're not talking about that, guys. So stay up out of my comments with that BS. I don't want to see it, okay? That's not what this video is about. This video is about for my fellow tarnished, who don't have access to those means. It is for you that I create this video. It is for you that I fight for, analyze for. Are you not entertained? All right. So now with that out of the way, can we get this out of the way? Albanarg Valley, can we get this out of the way? Okay. Let's forget about this. All right. So there, Albanarg Valley out of the way. Now let's talk the bird. Okay. Let's talk about the bird. 2-minute run, 2-minute-ish run. Okay, sometimes I go a little over because I made a mistake. All right. Now, here we have my run with the bird on Loretta's Great Bow. Now, let me say, let me apologize. In my earlier videos, I said that Loretta's Great Bow doing this was absolute trash and I hated it. I wasn't using it correctly. Now, if you notice here, what I like to do is I like to just free aim it. And I like to hit the base of the tree straight out of the grace. You want to do usually like 2 rolls like that. And then boom, just aim it down there, hit the base of the tree. It's going to get the bird's attention. Now on the second wave, the second arrow I throw out there, right? The splash damage hits the bird, aggroes him, and he jumps off. You run to the grace. All right. So I found that I actually was able to do this pretty quicker than I had and had more success than I had in the past when I was doing this test. So I apologize when I said that this was a crap and wildly unreliable way to do the bird. It's not that bad, actually. Now, what I found was with the Magic Loretta's Great Bow, this run takes about 2 minutes and 9 seconds. I got 7 tries in. And there were 7 successful, where previously I had like a 2 out of 5 or something like that. It was like a 40% success rate. And with this method of 2 shots, hit the base, get his attention, hit the base again, hit him with the splash damage, I got a 100% success rate, 7 out of 7. But I could only get 7 tries in the 2 minutes and 9 seconds, okay? Which led to 92,715 runes with Gold Scarab only. 92,715. Okay. Now that would have been 120,533 if I added the gold foot. All right. Adding the gold foot, you'll get 120,533. Now, see, the thing with this method is this method does damage output is not a factor. You just need to get the bird's attention, hit him, aggro him, have him jump off. Now, you know, more skilled players, some people swear by this method, all right? Swear by it and say it's the best, and that's okay. Every player's skill is going to make this vary a little bit, okay? So that's what we get. 2 minutes, 9 seconds, 7 tries, 7 successful, 100% success rate with the Gold Scarab, 92,715. all right? And if we were to use the scarab and the gold foot, it would be 120,533. Now let's move on. Let's keep it moving. So let's look at the rock sling real quick. Let's look at the rock sling. So I used the rock sling. Now what I noticed is I was also using this incorrectly. I noticed that before I had about, I think it was still like in the 80% success rate, but I did it much different this time. I got way more attempts in. This time, whereas previously I got about maybe like 5 or 6 attempts in, I actually got 7 successful. I got 8 attempts with 7 successful, because this one I still found to be a little not unreliable, a little finicky. All right. Now, what I noticed people doing on the, when you see the online players in the white, what I noticed them doing when I was here is they weren't even leaving the grace, and they were spamming rock sling. And I could tell because of the animation of the spell. And I realized they're doing rock sling. And what I learned was that when you do it from the grace, the rocks, they go out and then they land right over there by the pool of water or blood. There's a little bit of blood by the bird. A second and a third set, the first one grabs the attention of the bird. The second or the third set, in this case, as you see, sometimes the fourth one will then hit and aggro the bird. And then he'll do his little jump off thing, and then you get your rins. Give me my rins, okay? So I started using this method and then sitting at the grace, and it actually worked pretty good. I like this method. Now what I found, all right, 8 tries, 7 successful, because one time the bird just didn't jump off. And see, that's the thing with the bird. Sometimes that's going to happen. All right. Now, I am only showing you guys either perfect or damn near perfect runs on these. This doesn't mean this was my only attempt. Sometimes I had to record this a couple times to get like a perfect run, because I messed up sometimes, or the bird didn't aggro and he didn't jump off. So I had to, hit the grace again, just go through another attempt, because you got to let that one go, because it's all about time, right? So 2 minutes, I did the rock sling 2 minutes and 26 seconds because one of the attempts failed. And really here, what you do is once you see his health bar get hit, and you see it drop down, he jumped, and you just sit at the grace and then rinse and repeat. So 8 tries, 7 successful. This ended up with an 87.5 success rate here. Okay, as you can see, I got mad and I was like, no, we could do better. And then that's where I got that last one. So here we will see, let me pull up the runes. But there we go. All right, 2 minutes and 26 seconds. And again, it only took the extra time because one of the tries was not successful, so I redid it because I was mad. I wanted to get them reds. I wanted to get them. So rock sling 2 minutes 26 seconds, 8 tries, 7 successful. All right, I ended up with the same numbers as the bird, 92,715 with the gold foot. All right, and if I would have had with the gold scarab, and if I would have had the gold foot also, it would have been 120,533, same numbers as the bird. All right, with roughly the same number of attempts and successes. Okay, so 7 successful, and you're getting the same numbers here. So whether you're using Loretta's great bow or the rock sling, either way, these are the numbers that you're going to get. With bow, and again, this is 2 minutes. This is not the full length of a fouled foot. A fouled foot, if you're measuring it by the full length of the fouled foot, these numbers could be increased. But I'm measuring it by 2 minutes again, because the original cliff jump in Mohg's area took 2 minutes, about 1:55 to 2 minutes. So that's why I'm comparing everything to that time frame. Okay. Now let's take a look at my bow and arrow attempt. All right. And I had a much better run on the bow and arrow with this than I did the last time. Now, bow and arrow, I personally feel, is the most effective way to do the bird. All right, if you're gonna run bird, you really should be doing it with a bow and arrow, hands down. Okay, you get the most attempts out of it, and it has the best, in my opinion, even still the best success rate. Because even with Loretta's great bow, there's still room for error there. The bow and arrow, though, top notch. Now, in 2 minutes, you'll see in this video, it's 2 minutes and 12 seconds. All right. Because I messed up a couple of the free aim shots, but you can see I'm pretty on point this time, guys. I'd be like, pew, 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 pew. All right, straight Robin Hood green arrow up in this thing. What the blah, got him again. Now that's not what you want to do. You want to, from the grace, you want to double roll right to that cliff. And as you're coming out of your roll, you're already aiming down and in the middle of those trees and play-deal. Right there, he runs off. So, and then you just run straight back to the grace. As soon as you see him jump off the cliff, you can run straight back to the grace. I didn't believe this at first because when I used to farm the boulder, right? Because I was farming the boulder in the beginning. I know you were too, man. Then you had to watch the death animation on the boulder for it to proc the runes. And here, you don't. And I didn't believe people at first, but people were in the comments were like, no, you can. And I went and did it, and sure enough, you can. It worked, all right? So, bow and arrow, 2 minutes, 12 seconds, 10 tries, 10 successful, 100% success rate. Gold scarab only, 132,450 runes. If I would have had the gold foot on there, I would have got 172,190 runes. Now, those numbers rival the original cliff jump glitch, right? You see that? I missed an attempt. I could have got 11, but he didn't jump off right there. You saw that? He didn't jump off. That's going to happen with the bird. That's going to happen with the bird sometimes. All right. So, yeah, these numbers rival the original cliff jump at a 2 minute run. All right. 132,450 scarab only, about 172,190 with the fouled foot. That's 10 successful attempts. 10 successful attempts, guys. Okay. That's what it took right there for the bird. All right. Damage output, again, damage output, unlike running Albanarg Valley, damage output is not a factor here. Just need to hit and aggro the bird. That's all. That's all you got to do. All right. Which is why I think it makes it one of the more viable ways. Again, everybody stop it. We're not talking Relic Sword and New Game Plus and High Faith. If you have that method, great. Then you have accomplished the best rune farm possible in Elden Ring in Mohg's area. But we're talking about for everybody who doesn't have that stuff. And if you don't have that stuff, then I honestly say the bird is the way to go. Okay? The bird is the way to go. Now, so patch 1.04. They patched the original cliff jump. The original one, they put a rock slab there, but you can still do it. And I'm gonna show you how you can still do it. You can still do it. Now, let me show you the new, I do have a video on the new cliff jump version. I'm gonna call it cliff jump version 2. And that is over here. All right. Now, from the Palace Approach Ledge Road, that's the old one right there. Now the new one is from the Dynasty Mausoleum entrance grace, and you run up this valley here. That you start there when you port in, right, and then you just follow this path up to that rock, wall right there. You go over, you jump out. All right. Now let me show you real quick. Now you're gonna want to use the Pure Blood Knight's Medal. Use that. Go to the audience grounds. Boom, you poured over. All right. Now I did do a video on this one, so if you guys are interested, there is a video on this one, but a separate video, but I'm just showing you guys, all right, the full comparisons. You come Mohgwyn Palace and you run up here, cut left, get the grace. Okay, cut left and get the grace. So what we find here is that the timing on this one is just about the same. All right, a little bit more of a difficult jump in my opinion, but it is just about the same. Okay, so what are we gonna do here? Right here, this is where we are going to start the run. Okay. Oh, whoops. Let me go back for a second. And all right, look, one thing to note here is that you cannot use torrent up at the grace. You have to jump, you have to kind of run off the cliff. I would suggest just running and dropping off the cliff and then summoning him. Also, you have these Albanarg blood priests like that one right there, who they spawn those big gigantic spectral skeletons, and those are no good. Not good for business. So This is the jump, of course. All right, and almost near perfect. I get it on the second attempt right here. And let's talk numbers while that's playing. So, like I said, this is the cliff version 2. All right, and you want to follow my path that I'm going right here. Now, took about 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I did mess up there, so you could shave off maybe like 5 to 10 seconds or so, something like that. You could probably do it a little bit faster on the all around, a little bit closer to the 2-minute mark. Now, roughly, you're going to get about 152,117 runes with a gold scarab only. All right. Now, that does vary. One time I did proc about 161,000 with the scarab only. Now, this is because somebody on my comments in my YouTube on one of the videos stated that basically it is called, and let me see here. I want to get this right. Shout out to Jay Malone in my comments on one of my previous videos. He said he pretty much thinks what's happening here is called spatial rendering. And we all know that the map despawns. And when the map despawns, the enemies drop and fall to their deaths. Now, the thing about it is, we know that some of these enemies have a walking path. So the variation in runes on these cliff jumps, even with the version 1, the OG original one, the variations on the runes that you get, if you either cleared the ads, you're going to get less, because there'll be less enemies to despawn and fall down. And there goes the proc. 152,117, just like I said. So, back to the grace, right? Now, a couple things here. One, if you're using the fouled foot, you will have to use a fouled foot every time you do the run, because we already know that fast traveling back to the grace will reset that fouled foot, and you'll have to do it again. Now, again, like I said, 2 minutes, 20 seconds, 152,000. We know from the previous cliff jump version 1 that could be a potential of 177 with the fouled foot also. So, pre-patch, it was a 2-minute run before the patch for the first cliff. About 154,000 runes with the gold scarab only, and 177k with scarab and gold foot. Then we just saw version 2, the second cliff jump glitch in Mohg's area, and now there is the old OG cliff is still alive and kicking, but you have to find it. You have to scale a different wall, and I'm going to show you. Palace approach ledge, of course, and then, you know, you basically going up to this wall, then jumping out on that, you know, we know all that. Now, the spatial rendering, when it despawns the map, some enemies have that walking path, so if they walked maybe too far away, you might get less runes. That's a possibility, okay? Now, I think that would more happen here because of the Albinarch guards have a walking path, the ones at the bottom of the hill. Sometimes maybe they proc, sometimes maybe they don't, or something like that. Again, if you clear the ads, you're going to get less. Here's the old jump. They patched it. They put a rock slab there. Okay, so you can't do it. Look at that rock slab up there. Cannot do it anymore. But check this out. Now, of course, people discovered that you could just climb the blood wall. This is the blood wall right here. Boom. Blood wall. Bam. Blood wall. You can scale the blood wall to get to the same old jump, okay? With that, I have videos on this jump, and this is now the new variation of that original Mohg area cliff jump, okay? Now, these jumps, honestly, they're easier than that deep root depths one, okay? And let's go through a couple things. Again, fast traveling back to the grace will lose your gold foot boost, therefore requiring more gold feet to maximize the farm. All right. Now, this is a little tricky. You got to go here to that little corner and then inside that little ledge and kind of out right there, just right along out of it. You kind of jump out and back in. It's a little tricky, but once you get the hang of it, it really does go a lot smooth. It does go very, very smooth. Now, here we go. Same spot as the original video. Boom. Jump out. Bam. Well, not the original video. I don't know who posted it first, but, you know, my original video showcasing this jump. Fast traveling will lose your gold foot. If you die, you can't obtain the runes at the top of the cliff again. All right. These jumps are still easier than the deep root depth similar glitch jump that I heard was also patched in version 1.04. I don't test that one because that jump was crazy stupid and these were way easier. Again, also a variation in the number of runes. Nighttime, some of those enemies could be glowy-eyed, thus proccing more runes. Okay, so that's also a possibility here. Now let me just, we know this, right? What do we end up with? There. Now on that run with the gold scarab only, we procced 148,313 runes. All right. So do with this information what you must. But I think we can all agree that Mohg Palace is the best area to farm, no matter what method you're choosing, right? This is the best area to farm, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Here are the numbers again. You can pause the video. You can take a look at this. Thanks for watching. I know this is a long video. I know you guys like short videos, but this is a full in-depth analysis. This is a full deep dive where we showed all the different methods, how to do them, and what the outcome of everything was. Personally, I'm going to say bird or cliffs. Bird or cliffs. And if you're doing bird, bow and arrow. The bird, use the bow and arrow. The cliffs, either the first cliff or the second cliff, whichever. The first cliff, the OG one, is post-patch. You just climb the blood wall like I did right there in that video, and it's still alive and kicking. The thing about the cliffs is they'll be patched. They'll get patched. That's the thing about the cliffs. The bird's not going to ever get patched. So use the cliffs while you can, if you want, all right? Or the bird, bow and arrow. You guys tell me what you think in the comments. You guys be the judge. I'm just here to present this information. I'm not telling you to farm. I'm not telling you to use these things. I'm just saying, hey, this is what's out there. And these are the numbers and this is the analysis. Guys, I appreciate it. Draco's out. Peace.